It's time for Teen Mom Trash Talk with Tracey and Noelle.
This episode is brought to you by Tropical Smoothie Cafe. Tropical Smoothie Cafe believes that you deserve a little vacay every day, not just once a year. Get on Tropic Time with bright and refreshing smoothies, tropic bowls, wraps, and flatbreads from Tropical Smoothie Cafe. You're on Tropic Time now at Tropical Smoothie Cafe. Hello and welcome to Teen Mom Trash Talk. This is episode 343. I'm your host, comedian Tracey Carnazzo, joined by my co-host, comedian Noelle Winters Herzog.
Hello.
Hi, we're here to talk about the next chapter or the new chapter. There's no way to know. Season 2, episode 4. This is good. This is good. This show is good.
Yeah, this show is good. This is what we've been waiting for. This is Family Reunion just can't come back anymore.
Family Reunion, unfortunately, has been canceled by me in my head. And I'm not like, I can't
Yeah.
do this anymore. I want to thank every single person that believes in us and stuck with us through that terrible, terrible, terrible time in all of our lives.
You and I were on the phone today. We were talking about, we're like, thank God we didn't lose the people doing Family Reunion.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that we had to do that. I don't want to do that.
No, because we're coming in hot with Teen Mom next chapter,
We're coming
new
in
chapter.
way
The
hotter.
chapter.
They're coming in hotter.
They're coming in hotter, except, I mean, we were talking about before, they haven't come up with the right formula
Yes.
of girls.
Yeah,
yet.
it's too much little bullshits.
Right. Like this whole thing with Leah and 3 minutes of her in a car with her dad. Cool. Okay.
It's like, wait until something, like, I want to see him relapse. I don't want to see him.
I want to know more about this Jeremy thing. That's over now. That's it. I waited
That's
to
it.
hear all about
We watched
this,
him
and
lean.
that's it. Yeah.
That's it.
Wow, lean with it. Rock. Somebody said, wait, somebody in the group said, my father would hand him a broom and say,
Oh,
well,
if
do
you
have
could
time
lean,
to
you
lean?
could clean. Yes, that is a thing
I
that we
thought
used.
that was so
You never heard
funny.
that before?
No, I have.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought about that in so long.
Yeah,
It's
because
like,
I mean, that's what we used to do in the restaurants. They'd be
right.
like, if you could
That's
lean,
what
you
it
could
was.
clean. Don't you like how we never had a break? We had to stand up for an entire like 8 to
Yep.
14-hour shift. And they were
Yeah.
like, oh, you're not busy. And it's like, oh,
Right.
what?
If you wanted to, like, I don't know, eat something, you'd have to hide in the freezer.
You'd have to hide in the freezer and you'd have to eat rotten dead food that, that a cockroach has walked on.
Right. Like you could kill someone with that garlic bread that was in the
Yeah,
window.
it's like, oh, you want to eat? Good. I hope you love honey mustard dressing in a cup, because that's what you're gonna eat.
I'm just
You
gonna
could
take a shot of honey mustard.
you could have honey mustard and you could dip your croutons in honey mustard.
I think that's where my love of croutons came from. Is from working in the restaurants.
Of
Oh wow,
course
how
it
funny!
is.
I
You
guess I
forgot-
never put 2 and 2 together.
Yes. I mean, listen, when I worked at the Grand Lux Cafe, we got free soup.
Okay.
And the soup was like this creamy chicken soup with like peas and mushrooms. It was so freaking good. And we got free bread and free soup. And I lived on bread and soup.
Yum. I live now on bread and soup, so that
Right.
sounds delicious.
It wasn't terrible. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah,
All
I
right,
fuck
well,
with that.
If you guys love what we talk about, you can go to patreon.com/trash talk podcast, where you will find all of our bonus stuff, including but not limited to
Mm-hmm.
Recycles with Noelle and Michael that covered Real Housewives of New Jersey season 2. And now we're on to Mob Wives season 1. So Pumped to Vanderpump Rules podcast, Macaroni Rascals, a Jersey Shore podcast, Unexpected Trash Talk,
The single
90 Day
Trash Talk.
Fiance, the single life trash talk. Guys, it's too much. It's way too much. Patreon.com/trash talk podcast. Also, if you want this podcast the day we record it,
Mhm.
you can join the elite level and you will have access to it the day we record it. And that's really it. Patreon.com/trash talk podcast.
You know, Tracy, speaking of soup, I meant to tell you I drank wonton broth last night.
Delicious.
It was so good.
It's always so good. I wish I could drink it. It's not gluten-free, but it's
The
just
broth. The broth isn't.
Yeah, we don't know
that's
what goes in
true.
there.
Yeah. Well, wontons are in it.
right. But I'm saying, like,
Yeah.
I don't know at what point the wontons are introduced.
Yeah. No, I feel like, right. I feel like they've been introduced.
Yeah.
Like they go back a long time.
They know each other from high school.
I just don't understand why the broth tastes so good. But I guess we'll leave this for BS. We'll talk about this on BS.
Guys, that's our other favorite podcast, BS, where we just kind of,
Talk about wonton soup.
if you guys want to listen
We
to our
just
Wonton
BS.
Soup podcast, go to patreon.com/trash talk podcast. Jumping into the pool, next chapter, new chapter, season 2, episode 4, jumping in with Macy.
This is like the first episode she's been on, I feel like.
I know. And now also, it's not what I want to see about her. I don't care. I don't care. Bentley took his permanent test online. He failed it. Okay, great. Also, why does she keep calling him son?
Okay, that's what I wrote. I said she keeps calling him son.
Macy, shut up.
Also, like
She calls him
okay.
son, and she calls when she talks to Bentley, she calls him Ryan instead of your father.
Yes, she does.
It's like,
So here's
okay.
the thing: the last season, right, that we watched with her on not new chapter, not family reunion, next chapter, whatever.
Mhm.
Um, Bentley was like getting older, but he was still like a tween.
Yeah.
Now he could work in food emporium.
He's
Like now he's like a full teenager. Like,
great.
you know what I'm saying? Like now he is a full teenager. This
Yeah,
kid.
he's a full teenager. This
I don't know
guy.
how this happened.
I don't know either, but I do know that Macy is she's calling him son. He failed his permanent test.
Yeah.
She's also dyeing Maverick's hair blue and giving him a mohawk. He looks like Sonic the Hedgehog.
Okay, but she bleached his hair first.
She has to.
I know, but that blew my mind because this kid's like, it's tingling. I'm like, oh, she's bleaching him.
Yeah, oh no, she's straight up. So I think they got that kit, like
Yeah,
the
they did the
splat
splat kit.
Oh,
That's so funny. We've
I've
all
lived-
been
I've-
hurt.
we've been there.
What was that thing we saw on Instagram the other day? It was like I've destroyed myself so many times. It was like apricot face scrub.
Yes,
Then it was like
splat.
flat vanilla fields. Like all these. I destroyed myself so many times.
Sun in.
Sun in.
Oh God, I remember when I
Yeah.
did sun in. I didn't know what it was. I just thought it was like cool, and I
Uh-huh.
sprayed my whole head with it.
Well, so that's the thing. It's like splat, and then you just have one chunk of orange.
Right, but they don't like tell you anything about
They
it.
don't tell you, hey, do a streak of your hair.
They're not like, hey, this is bleach.
No.
They're just like, I don't know,
Yeah.
spray it in your hair.
Right. They're like, have random chunks.
Figure it out. So she's talking about Ryan living with Jen and Larry.
Right.
And so after he got out of the sober living, he's living with Jen and Larry, and he got pulled over for speeding.
Right.
And he got a restricted license because he had a DWI already.
Right.
So he's sober, and now Ryan has a restricted license. Now, eventually, obviously, Bentley passes this test.
Right.
And she's like, I don't really want you driving. She's talking to Taylor about it. She's like, I don't really want him driving with Ryan.
But
He could drive with.
can't.
But this is what it's like, what are you talking about?
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, okay, but even if
It's not an
like,
option.
he can't.
It's not your
so why are
opinion.
we
This is a
doing
fact.
this?
Right.
She's
But
like,
I
"Oh,
like
I'm
how
just not
she's like,
sure."
he could drive with me and you, Jen and Larry, your parents. It's like, yeah, he can't drive with your dad with his forged checks.
You know, everyone loves it when you say that. Everyone loves when you say that. It's so funny.
Your father has also a
He
felony.
could ride Hobby's CrossFit wheel, but he can't ride
but
with
he
my
cannot.
dad.
He cannot ride with your dad. Your dad is
Oh, it's so
has been
funny.
convicted of possession of a forged instrument, and that instrument was a check. Bad check.
It's a rubber check.
It was a bouncy
It bounces
bounce.
all around.
Yeah, she's like, he can't drive with my dad. He's gonna bounce off the road. My dad's made of rubber,
Oh, it's
and
so
Bentley is not
funny.
made of glue.
No, he is
Wow.
not.
All right, so we see Ryan and Amanda at Bentley's game.
I didn't realize she had a face tattoo.
I like
How
it.
have I never realized?
I don't hate it.
No, I don't hate her.
I know, but it's just kind of cool on her.
Yeah, of course it is. No, her tattoos are super cool. So here's the thing, right? When they got together, I'm like, this is too soon
Yeah,
because you're not supposed to do this when you're in rehab. He seems to be doing really well being with
Yeah.
her. Macy gets along with her really well, so I'm all about it. I just want to make something clear. When I post things about Amanda, I always say Ryan's rehab girlfriend. It's a joke. People are
Yeah.
like, why does she have to be Ryan's rehab girlfriend?
she just
now?
is. I don't know why she is.
Why are you throwing stones at addicts? And it's like, I'm not throwing stones at addicts, honey. She's just his rehab girlfriend.
She's his
to
rehab
me.
girlfriend.
So that's how I refer to her. I like her, but that's how I refer to her.
Good for you, Noelle.
Thank you so much.
Stand in your power.
I do see my power, Tracy. You see how snarky I've been online lately.
Yeah, you've been pretty snarky. I like you in the comments.
Don't let the door hit you
Where the
on your
good
way
Lord-
out.
Where the
Where the good Lord
you.
split you. That's what my dad used to say.
Oh man. So okay. So she's driving with Bentley, and he has
Mhm.
to. She's like, you have to practice before you drive with Ryan.
But
Bentley,
you're not gonna.
Bentley, listen to mommy, and that's me. That's me,
Mhm.
Tracy.
Mhm.
You can't drive with your father. Move on.
Yeah, that's the thing. You're just not gonna.
Move on.
And yeah.
All right. So he hits the cones.
Yeah, but it's also like, okay, also, do you feel like, I don't know, I feel like the car you learn to drive in is vital. Why does he need to drive in a car with the highest tires I've ever seen in my whole life?
He has
You
to
know?
drive
He's
in
driving a
an
big
army
rig.
truck.
Right.
Yeah.
Why are you? This is what you're making this kid learn on. She said he'll be driving mine and Taylor's cars. So don't you have a lower car for him to try out first?
Cars is.
Right. Don't you have a lower car?
Probably not. He probably has a monster truck.
I know. That's what I was thinking. I'm like, what's the other car that they have?
Yeah, no, it's not good. Also, this is
Mhm.
another thing that I was thinking about.
Yeah.
So he's 15, right? And he's learning to
Mhm.
drive. And this is, I'm assuming, like his first times driving a car.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about how when I was 15,
Mhm.
I fully knew how to drive. I remember the first time my mom was like, okay, I'm going to like let you drive around the block.
Mhm.
I was like, I can take you to Connecticut right now.
Your mother's very amused by that too.
Yeah, I've
That-
always
that
just driven.
very much amuses her. I know.
What, that you taught me how to drive? No,
Yeah.
I just
She
knew
thinks it's
how
so
to-
funny. She'd be like, Tracey was 14 driving Noelle's car around. She thinks it's the funniest thing ever.
I
And
know,
it's like,
and it's like that was
you
a
get mad about
felony.
everything, and that you think is funny.
That was a terrible, terrible felony.
Oh,
I could have
no, it was
killed.
terrible. It was
I could have
terrible.
killed someone. I could have killed myself. I could
Yeah.
have killed a family.
Yeah,
I could have killed
like,
a lot of
I
children.
could
You could have been in jail.
sued.
Your
Yeah.
father could have been in jail.
Mhm.
It's like, hello, no one
Mhm.
cares. Okay,
Nobody
cool. It's
cares.
funny. I mean, I was driving like a delivery, like a UPS truck when I was
You
14
were.
years old.
You were.
I'm like, yeah, of course I could drive. Stop pretending I can't drive. I went to driver's ed and I was like, hey guys, it is early. It is Saturday morning. Let's get in the car. I'm going to drive myself home.
Right.
I'm going to get out of the car and I'm going home. And that's what I
Mhm.
did every single time. And the way that they let me do that is because from where I took driver's ed to
Mhm.
my house, there was a Wendy's in between.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
So they said I could drive myself home, but I have to drive them through the Wendy's drive-through. This was including the teacher. That was their. So I was like, all right, I'll drive you. So I used to drive them through the Wendy's
Yeah, can I have a
drive-through.
junior bacon cheeseburger with cheese?
Everyone
Yeah,
would
I
get
mean-
like a Wendy's breakfast.
Right, uh-huh.
I would get like a Frosty, and I would show up on my mother would drop me off at driver's ed, and I would show back up on her doorstep 20 minutes later with a
Wow.
Frosty.
Wow.
She's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "What are you doing? Don't
This is why
question me."
me, you, and my mom were in the car the other day, and we were talking about how you've always been the same your whole life. And that is just another example. I can't wait till
Yeah.
my mother gets home from the gym so I can tell her the story.
It's true though.
Yeah. How you
It's like-
just, I mean, it's just you. There's never been a time ever where you've just like taken a class and it just did it like normal people.
No, 'cause
No.
it's like, what are you going to teach me, driver's ed teacher? What are you going to teach me? Tell me more. You want me to drive on the highway? I'll drive on the highway right now.
But that's the thing. You've never just like, nothing is ever just regular. You're not
No.
like, oh, let me just take this class. It's like, well, I know, I'm going to take this class. I'm also going to teach the professor. I'm also going to be the first one out of class. I'm going to figure out how to
Always.
do that.
Always.
And I'll probably get to take this class for free on top of it.
Always. When I was in college, even recently, I did all of my work in advance and I finished my classes.
Oh, I know you did.
I was like, okay, thank you.
But that's what I'm saying. Nothing is ever just, even your bite, even when you're doing bite, you're like, I'm doing the accelerated version. Everything is accelerated. It's so funny.
I'm like, I'm only going to wear every tray for 1 minute.
It's so true though. Like when I think about it, it's like, I've never known you. Like, what would happen if you got pregnant?
I would just
How
start pushing.
accelerated would
I
that
would just
be?
start pushing. I'd be
Just
like,
so
come on,
funny.
kid.
It really makes me laugh. 'cause
Not
it's just
interested in
everything in
this.
your life is just like that. It's very funny.
Yeah. I don't have
Yeah.
time. I don't have time.
No, I know, but that's the thing. You haven't had time since you're a toddler.
I
It's
just don't
it's
have
very
time.
funny to me because I am so the opposite.
Listen,
I'm
when
a
I
very
was
by
3,
the
I had
book
a
kind
job.
of girl. Right.
This is
I'm
not
a
my
very
life
by
is not
the
easy.
book kind of girl, not
Yeah,
like
I'm
you.
not by the
Yeah.
book.
Yeah.
I know you're like, I'm going to return something. What do I say? I'm like, you say here.
No, that's what I mean. Wait, I went into CVS last night
Uh-huh.
because Matt wanted a beach umbrella, so I got it. And then I had got 3 of them at Walgreens earlier, but I wanted to return them. So I'm like, what would Tracey tell me to do? She would tell me, walk in and just be like, I'd like to return these. You don't need a reason, Noelle.
You don't need a reason.
And then I started laughing because I'm like, the last time I was in CVS with Tracey, we had this retired kid. And she's like, he's just staring at her, this blonde kid, and
He
he
was so
couldn't
cute,
figure out
too.
how to do the returns. He was so cute. And I'm like, if this fucking guy is in here, like this is, I can't handle this right now. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of too. I was thinking about you last night at like midnight
Yeah,
buying
he was like, I was
umbrellas.
trying to return something to FedEx, and he was like, "Oh." I'm like,
Yeah.
hello, give me the thing. I will show you how to do it.
Makes me laugh.
Oh God, I am a busy lady.
You are. You're very impatient.
Well, you and I have been super busy too because we've been getting smoothies, and this episode is brought to you by Tropical Smoothie Cafe. Tropical Smoothie Cafe believes that you deserve a getaway every day, not just once a year, and summer mocktail smoothies are here for a limited time at Tropical Smoothie Cafe. Mocktail hour on the pool deck is a sip away, and nothing says summer like a tropical mocktail smoothie. Fan favorites Island Punch, Mango Berry Cosmo, and Watermelon Mojito smoothies are on deck at Tropical Smoothie Cafe for a limited time. Does it get more refreshing than that, Noelle?
It really doesn't.
Join Tropical Smoothie Cafe for pineapple, mango, and watermelon soiree all summer long. Grab a refreshing Island Punch, Mango Berry Cosmo, and Watermelon Mojito mocktail smoothie and meet us poolside.
Oh, you love poolside.
I do like it poolside. I know that you don't like to be by the pool, but when I'm there, I feel like I'm poolside when I'm drinking a smoothie.
I could see that though. And there's nothing like actually being poolside drinking a smoothie.
I really just want to go in the pool.
I just want to drink something bright.
Ooh.
I'm just in that kind of mood.
I need to try. I still haven't tried the watermelon mojito smoothie.
Okay, I have to tell you, I think it's like I need to try something else because that's just what I keep getting because that's my favorite thing. But it's like I need to branch out. I need to just stop
We're gonna
going for
branch
what I
out.
like because it's just you got me. It's like lime mint. Come on, that's for me.
No, I get it. I totally get it. All right, guys. Well, grab a refreshing Island Punch, Mango Berry Cosmo, and Watermelon Mojito smoothie for Tropical Smoothie Cafe and meet us poolside. Moving on to who's
Leah.
This next? Who's this next? More on Leah.
Leah, seriously.
Okay, so she's at Victoria's house and rehab is too expensive and the other ones don't take insurance. So why don't you call Tyler? Why don't you call Jade? Why don't you get them a scholarship to the one in Texas? Hello.
Well, because she's not trusting and she doesn't open up to people.
She really is a little bit closed off. That's why she moved her kids in with Jason and then put her dog in a garage. What?
You know what's so funny is, you know, she's like a Janelle in like whoever she's with, her style morphs.
Oh, wow.
Remember look at how
she been hanging out with.
No, but look at how different she was when she was with Jalen. Do you remember? Like her bathing suits and stuff she would wear. Yeah. And now it's like, okay, who is your boyfriend?
Okay, well, she's wearing a chunky turtleneck with a blazer with a necklace over the turtleneck. What are we doing here?
Right. This is what I'm saying. Like, are you running for office? Who is your boyfriend now? I would love to know. Donald Trump? Like, who is your boyfriend?
Listen, Ivanka.
Like,
what's the other one? What's his wife's name?
Not Melania. No, something Melania. Yeah, okay.
You're right.
Something like that. I was thinking whenever I hear Melania, I think of Teresa Giudice. So I'm like, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
No. Okay. So I'm looking at her mouth. I'm looking at her face. I'm like, what is happening? It's not just fillers. It's not. You remember? I'm like, her nose looks weird.
Definitely her nose.
Okay. I think she has some kind of maybe bone loss in her teeth up here.
Really?
Yeah. There's something.
I feel like she looks like she got a bad nose job.
She looks like she got a bad nose job. She looks like she got a bad face job. She looks like maybe she gave a hand job.
I mean, gave a hand job, gave a blow job, gave a hand job. I mean, Tracey, so she looks really different.
She's going to go and take her father from detox to rehab. And she's like, so she's talking to Victoria about it. She's like, I'm going to be there for him. And then she says, quote, I will be his pasta pot. And I'm like, whoa.
Okay. Remember when she used to put things in the pasta pot? Like,
never forget her intentions.
Her intentions. How stupid. How annoying is she, right? Am I right, people?
I got to tell you, there's a lot of people I'd be friends with, and she is not one of them.
I would never be friends with her.
No way.
I got to tell you, there's not a lot of girls on this show I would actually be friends with, I think. Well, I think I'd be friends with Macy.
Yeah. She seems normalish. Well, as we go through it, I have more to say. So Leah starts talking about when she went to rehab in Arizona, when she was calling it therapy on the show.
Therapy? Is that what she called it?
Like real deep. It's gonna go into my
veins, actually.
It's gonna go into my heroin
Flush
arm.
my system. Oh Oh God, it's like, I looking back though, like seeing her, it's like, holy shit, what a difference.
Okay, she says, and I quote, "I was never a bad mom. I just got hooked on medications that were prescribed for me." And you were a
Okay.
bad mom.
You were a bad mom. You just were a bad mom because of it. If you weren't, I don't think you would have lost custody of your kids. I just
You were a bad mom before you lost custody. Also, you had these little twins.
Uh-huh.
You were getting D from Corey,
Uh-huh.
getting pregnant by Jeremy,
Uh-huh.
aborting Jeremy's baby,
Fucking
then
Robbie on the deer cam.
fucking Robbie on the deer cam, and then getting an additional replacing your abortion baby immediately.
Right. So what was the point
Stop.
of that? But yeah, no. I just don't like how Leah rewrites history because I understand it. People go through struggles, but the way she explains
Oh my
things
God. Yeah,
bothers
she
me.
was not at fault at all.
Yeah, no, she wasn't at fault. No,
nothing
never.
to do with her.
No, well, that's the thing. It would just put in her.
So, okay, so he said that he regrets like giving her drugs when she was,
Of course, right? Because she said the first time she tried heroin was with her dad.
so I guess maybe she was like not what's it called? She was in why can't I talk?
She was in
When you
distress.
No, when you take drugs and then you can't take them anymore because you don't have any more.
Out.
What?
Like she was out of drugs.
Yeah, like when you're out of drugs, like what do? Why can't I think of this word? Everyone's
Replace.
screaming it. No, it's when you're going like when you're doing heroin and then you can't get any more
Okay.
heroin.
A fix.
No, what happens to you when you can't get any more heroin and you need more heroin?
Withdrawing.
Yeah, she was going
Okay.
through withdrawals.
Oh
I guess,
no,
so he was giving-
definitely right because her dad also says that he's hooked on pills. I think he went from pills to heroin.
right, but that's
because-
what I'm saying.
Yeah, and then so he gave her heroin, and she said that she felt absolutely nothing from it, and she felt like that was like something from God because she didn't wind up getting addicted to it. She only tried it that one time, but it didn't do
Okay,
anything
well,
for her.
Yeah, it didn't do anything for you because you were on all of the pills. You were on every pill.
Right.
Okay, so now
But like, just call it what it is, you know?
she is wearing an additional different turtleneck blazer necklace combination.
Where is she shopping? You know what I mean? Where the hell is she
The
shopping?
JCPenney catalog.
Yeah, this is JCPenney.
Land's End.
And he is drinking the drink of the detox people. He is drinking a monster drink. He is drinking a
they love
monster
it.
energy. Yes.
He's drinking a Monster Energy, and they're going to Morgantown, West Virginia for his rehab. So it's like right there. And she's like, "Do you have any last words to say to the camera?" He's like, "Get her done." I'm like, "Great."
Yeah. Cute.
It's great. All right, moving on to Cheyenne that has zero problems. Zero problems.
I mean, if this is your biggest problem, but also she's so nasty.
Yeah, of course. Listen, I would have been annoyed too.
Yeah, but I wouldn't have reacted like her. Like,
Oh, I might have.
No, the way
Also,
she
because
talked-
I know that he's not going to get really mad at me. We're not actually fighting, so I'm going to
but
scream.
but I don't know. No, not to him. To him, I think she was right. The way she was talking to her sister and her mom. I don't like how she talks to them. Yeah.
Well, she's like a whiny, spoiled
yes.
brat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Corey wants to talk to Cheyenne in person, and she's like, "Yeah, Zach is golfing with my dad, so we haven't chosen a career."
No, Sean doesn't have a career either. Right. We're still online playing fireman, EMS,
Okay.
cowboy,
Native American.
Yeah. We're
Leather
the
man.
candlestick maker. Right. The biker. Right. I thought we chose biker.
We chose biker.
Cowboy. Right. Whatever it is. The butcher, the baker.
This guy doesn't do
I'd
anything.
marry a butcher.
This guy doesn't do anything.
He doesn't do anything. He golfs.
I'd rather him at a butcher with no refrigerator, just like Johan in the DR.
Here's the thing, though. At the end of the day, these girls don't want these guys to work. They say
No,
it.
of
They
course
don't want
not.
them to.
So Corey wants to take Ryder for 10 days for Christmas to Michigan, and he booked it months ago. He didn't ask, and then he told Ryder about it already. It's easier to ask forgiveness than permission.
Okay, yes, and I think that that's all crazy that he booked it and he never told her. But I just see his point where he's in like, your family lives in LA.
Yeah.
So like you
And
kind of
listen, that's fine. It's just
Right.
like, hey man, she'd probably let you. It would probably be cool. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, I think, but I also think that it's like a typical man trait. Can't communicate. Just can't.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's just how it goes. So it's like whatever. But also like you guys actually really do get along. You don't have to pretend you don't for us.
But
You know?
that's what I mean. This like there a lot of this is for the show. Also,
Of
Corey got
course.
brand spanking new teeth.
I didn't even notice. You really do have a thing with teeth.
Oh my God. They're made of plastic.
I didn't notice. I noticed that Erica Mena did, and I sent you a picture of her
Yes.
before and
Oh,
after
God.
from
I
Love and
know.
Hip Hop. They're very bad.
Very, very big. So she's mad. She said no, but it's like you didn't really.
Then she's like, "Okay, get out of my house." Shut
Okay,
up.
but see, I would talk like that too.
I know you would.
Yeah, I'd be like, get out of my
kick
house. I'm not
the
talking to you
UPS
about
guy
this.
out. You love to kick people out of your house. That's your forte. That and throwing water bottles. You love kicking people out of
I am
places, and you
throwing
love throwing
water.
water bottles.
No,
You
I
like
think
to. You
I like
a
to stay
good
hydrated.
embarrassment. You like to embarrass someone. Like you would love to be at a party and throw someone out in front of everyone. You would love that.
Yeah, I've done it.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like that's your forte.
I did it at my 25th birthday.
That's your
And I threw a drink
forte.
at her. I threw her
Yeah.
own drink at her.
Oh, but I mean, anybody would have done that. Yeah.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
was a
of
dumb.
course.
CUNT.
Ooh,
And
I
she's a
like
bad
that.
mom and she abuses her children. I hope you're listening to this. Anyway,
I don't think she knows how to play a podcast.
she still wants to be friends with me. No, thank you. So she tells her mother and her sister about this.
Who
and
now
she-
has hair.
who knew
Her
it?
sister's been bald this whole time. I don't like her sister with hair. I love her
No, I
sister
know.
bald.
Me too.
So many women can't have hair like that.
No,
where
no,
she just had a little bit of hair.
I know.
It looked so good on her. This is like weird to me.
Very weird.
Yeah, because I think her sister is so cute.
It is very, very strange.
Mhm.
So her mother says,
Mm-hmm.
when you throw all these parties and you make Corey pay for them, and it's like,
Mhm.
oh.
And then she's like, Corey kind of bends for you all the time. And
Yep.
he does everything you want. And she did not like hearing that.
No,
She didn't.
Yeah, her mother's like, just let her go. So she's like, I'll ask Ryder. So now the way she's asking Ryder, she is trying to scare her, but Ryder
Of
is smarter
course.
than her.
I like that Ryder's like, okay, so here's us.
Yeah, and then you're
Go
all
across
the
the
way over
country.
here. She's like,
Right.
so you can't even get me if you wanted to.
Right.
She's like, yeah, sounds good to me.
How are both of these children that good looking?
Cute.
I mean, how are they this
They're
good? But like,
so
they're
cute.
so good looking.
They're so good looking. They're so cute. They're so smart. I like
Yeah.
them. So Corey comes over because they're not actually fighting.
Yeah.
Ace runs past him. No pound.
I know. He's like, I'm going to have a talk with him.
Cheyenne was mad that he didn't communicate. I was also mad that he did not communicate.
Right. Because you guys communicate so well.
Well, that's what it is. It's like,
Yeah.
no, guys. You are my inspiration. So stop.
Yeah. What are you doing?
When my baby daddy leaves me
In her accelerated pregnancy.
tomorrow, when I
Tracy's
give
be
birth,
the first woman in history to have a successful 3-month pregnancy.
yeah, it's gonna. I'm like a dog.
The baby's gonna be 8 pounds. It's gonna be a regular baby. 6 pounds. I don't know
I'm
how
gonna be
much
like, yeah, I just ate
weigh.
a lot of cheese. It was fine.
Oh.
Why you don't want to meet Stasia
I was gonna say you don't want to meet baby Brie.
Latour?
Latour. Oh.
Anyway, so
Yeah.
he apologizes, and Cheyenne wants them to all be together for Christmas when they're home. So she's like, listen,
Mhm.
unless you're traveling and I'm traveling, like let's have all Christmas all together.
Yeah.
And now I'm back. It's like you got me back. Now,
Mhm.
do you notice their
Mhm.
intros and they're like, mid rolls?
Yeah.
They're all like this AI Christmas scenes.
Oh, I know.
Like,
It's
what
like
is
this.
that?
It's weird. I know.
Well,
Cheyenne's house, by the way, is so fucking clean. She has the cleanest house of everyone. Come on.
she lives in a museum though.
But that's what I mean.
She
This
lives
house
in.
is
She
so
lives
clean.
in the MoMA.
Yeah.
It's so big.
It's so big. It's so clean.
She has
and
no
it's like,
stuff.
you
She
have
wants to be
people
Kim
that live here.
Kardashian.
Right.
Yeah,
It's like, I don't want to have stuff.
Well, Corey comes to get her before Christmas, and Cheyenne cries, and Corey actually feels bad, and that makes me happy too.
I know. And it's
Corey's
like,
like,
she's
"Ah, what am I
crying.
doing to
Zach
you?"
is kissing her, but everyone's happy.
All right. Well, you know who's not happy and will never be happy, ever, 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 no matter
Jade and
what.
Sean.
Jade and Sean. I do not want to be friends with Jade. I cannot tell you how much I don't want to be friends with
No,
Jade.
I don't want to be friends with her either. And you know what? Sean, he's not bad. She makes him crazy.
Yeah, but it's like the same stuff over and over again.
Marriage was never going to fix this. And his
No.
sobriety wasn't going to fix this. That's not the problem.
So they're married. They went to Turks and Caicos, and why can I say that? Turks and
queso.
Caicos.
I love
That
chips
sounds
and queso.
delicious. They just come back from chips and queso and with a side of sour cream and a side of salsa. Yum. Salsa verde. Yum.
Mm.
Chloe was in public school
Right.
and she had issues. Okay, so her issues were that she gave the teacher the finger.
Her issues were because she thought she was at the dentist. She was
Her
like,
issues
fuck
were
you, I
like-
don't want another crown. I can't keep doing this.
She's like, why am I getting root canals? These aren't even my adult teeth. Stop.
Oh.
She's like, you want to see what daddy does to mommy? Here.
Right. And then she's like, fuck you, dentist.
All right. So they have to pull her out of school and they have to homeschool her because she's getting bullied. She's getting bullied?
Getting bullied. Isn't she in like kindergarten? Is that a thing?
Yes. No.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't know.
I
So
don't know. Yeah.
They're homeschooling her. So they're going to fight homeschool her. They're going to teach her how to really realize that her parents hate each other.
Here's the thing. They homeschooled her for 1 hour. They were like, well, this isn't working.
Chloe needs to go to school. Chloe needs someone pick Chloe
yeah.
up and bring her to
Chloe,
school.
Chloe, you know what? Chow could have homeschooled her better.
Anyone could have
Yeah.
homeschooled her better.
But it's like Sean's trying. He
What
keeps
about-
calling
what
her
about-
dude though, but Sean's trying.
What about Miguel?
Oh, Miguel would have been a good teacher. Also,
Yes, he
now
would
there's
have.
no dog at all. I haven't
No
seen a
dogs.
dog.
No dogs. We had a husky. We had a Maltese.
Yeah,
We had
I haven't
a
seen
Chihuahua.
anyone.
All right. So she has dinner with Karam and Chelsea that do not know each other.
No. Mm-mm.
But
Karen was never even at her wedding. Karen wasn't at her wedding.
Karen wasn't even invited to her wedding. She's like, yeah, Karen's
No.
this girl that agreed to film with us. Anyway, Chelsea is the one that hooked up with Amber.
She looks mighty different.
Okay. But she's like, yeah, but Amber has a new boyfriend. And Chelsea's like, yeah, I think I'll be okay.
And Chelsea's like, I think I'm over it. But that's crazy. They show her, and I'm like, yo, I didn't even know that was her.
Uh-huh. So
Also, she doesn't seem very nice.
none of them
No,
do.
none of them do.
Okay. Sean said that
Mhm.
he needs space from Chloe, that
Mhm.
Jade needs space from Chloe, and they all need space from each other.
I mean, here's the thing, right? Sean obviously doesn't work either.
Sean does not work.
None of
No
these guys
job.
work. But it's
no
like,
trabajo.
this is
para
why-
Sean.
but Sean is 100% a stay-at-home dad. But it's like he doesn't like being a stay-at-home dad.
No, but he
Yeah.
also doesn't like having a job. So
He doesn't like having a job, but it's like just go work somewhere because he's very frustrated being with that kid
go
24/7.
golf
I get
with
it.
Cheyenne, and isn't he friends with Zach? Maybe
Yeah,
this
they're
is
like
why.
best friends. Why
Yeah.
don't you guys move to California?
Move to California. Go live in Cheyenne's hallway. It's big.
It is big enough. There's a little Christmas tree in there too, so it'd be
nice.
perfect. Yeah.
Okay, so they need space from Chloe, so they're sending Chloe back to private school.
Right.
Now, by private school, they mean Chloe's dark room. They're like, "Go ahead, Chloe, go back to your
her
private school."
private dark room.
And they shut the lights off and they close the door behind her, and they're like, "Yeah, Chloe's in private school now.
I'd rather be
It's
there
very
than the
private.
dentist.
It's very private. It's just her and her thoughts."
Poor Chloe.
Man, she is getting set up for failure.
She is though. Uh-huh.
Speaking of failure, let's talk about Brianna. She has her new house away from her mother and her sister.
I wonder how far it is.
I don't know, but she said that they were always together. Her mother, her, and her sister, except for the time that Brianna left Nova.
She forgets that. I love how she forgets that.
Never forget. Never forget.
Mhm.
So Roxy lied a lot. And then they show her crying, "Daddy's not your daddy."
It's like, oh God, I did forget about that. Also, I saw Brittany's TikTok and she says that they're getting married, right? I think next year, but she's trying to be pregnant before this year is over.
Good, fun.
But don't you feel like in your mind then how there's nothing wrong with it, but like, how do you plan a wedding dress when you don't even know when you're going to get pregnant, but you're trying right now,
what are
but
we
your wedding
doing?
is next year? That's what gets me.
Yeah, it's very strange.
Yeah.
Okay, so they said that Roxy's been acting very strange,
Mhm.
and Shirley comes over.
Your friend.
She's so Shirley.
She's so Shirley. She had another baby.
This is so weird.
Debbie.
So weird.
Yeah.
So Brianna tells her how Roxy threw water at Brittany at a restaurant.
That's
Remember-
crazy. And the girls were there.
Do you remember when Roxy stood on
Of course I do.
the
Like a
table at the
spider
restaurant?
monkey.
Yes. All right. So Roxy looks very blonde with lip filler in the car.
She is wearing a Patagonia jacket
Yeah.
in Florida. I just feel like, isn't that a little excessive?
She's freezing. She's freezing. She's
Yeah.
freezing. So she comes to talk to Brittany, and
Right.
they send the kids with Uncle Steven.
Right.
And Roxy's like, I don't know. Maybe it's my menopause. And Brianna's like, you're going downhill. She's like, I know. I'm so cold. I'm so cold. So then she starts talking about how she'll never recover from her trauma.
Injecting her father with heroin. I mean, that's pretty bad trauma.
Shooting heroin into my father's arm was the least of my problems.
What could be worse? That sounds like a pretty bad problem.
Okay, well, honestly, I
Also,
understand
did your
how she
father not
feels.
have hands?
I understand how she feels
Wow.
because you make me hold Dorado and shoot
I
him
do.
with insulin.
I do. You hold and tense
I
him
hold
and I
him.
shoot him.
It's like how what we know what
That's
Roxy
it
went
is.
through.
Yeah, I understand Roxanne's struggle.
And no, maybe he didn't have arms. Maybe he was a puppy.
Oh, maybe he was a little, but that's why I'm like, did this guy have no thumbs?
Maybe he just had
Did he not have
paws.
hands?
Maybe he just had paws. So Brittany's like, yeah, well, maybe we'll never get over our trauma. So what are you going to do, Roxy? You say you can't get over your trauma. So you're not going to go to therapy. You're not going to try anything.
Right.
You're just going to be crazy.
Right.
So they want her to get help. And she's like, yeah, if you don't get better, like, I don't know if you could be at my wedding.
And she like flipped out. I get why she said that though, but I still don't think Brittany would not include her mother in her
Right. But
wedding.
like also get some help. So
yeah, of course.
she's so mad and she leaves. But she comes back in with a makeup case.
I've seen a case like this before. I know somebody else who has this case.
Really? The same
yeah,
one?
my aunt has a case just
The
like
same
this.
one?
Well, very similar to this, a metal case. Yeah.
What? Okay. So she comes
I don't
back
know
in.
if when she goes to the clinic, like you have to, I don't know if you have
They
to
give you a
have
makeup
something
case?
like that.
They
Well,
give you
I
a
don't know.
caboodle?
Yeah, I think she went to MAC and got a makeup case special.
They give
for
you a
this.
methadone caboodle?
That's what she has. She has a methadone caboodle.
Yeah.
Here's I would just like to say something here. I have posted about Roxanne, us finding out Roxanne's on methadone. I have been dragged all over the place about this. People are like, they're saying it like it's a bad thing. I don't think methadone is bad.
I'm literally
Nobody is
telling
saying
you.
that it's a bad. What they're saying is she's misusing it, and people are like not realizing that. Also, everybody's like, she's on it for lupus. It's like, no, because even when she says she's on methadone, there's a thing on the screen
Yeah.
that says it is used for
Yeah.
drugs.
Yeah.
Right. Drug dependency, whatever the hell you want to say. But it's like it wasn't like that's her lupus medication.
No, they use chemo for lupus medication.
Right. And I've heard that they use methadone for lupus medication too, but I'm almost positive.
Oh, that's not why she's on it.
No, right. I think that she was on drugs and she's on methadone and she's misusing it. People don't realize another thing. Somebody was posting in a group about this, and they're like, it's impossible for her to have that much methadone at once. And it's like,
No, it's not.
If you're
it's
on
not.
long-term methadone,
They
you
give it
can
to you
get a
like a
2-week
month.
supply
Yeah.
of it. Right. So people are like, no, you have to go every day. That is just
no,
false.
you don't.
At least
Absolutely no.
it
you
is
don't.
just false. You do not.
No.
You are a long-time methadone user, and that's how you start misusing.
Yes.
It just
Okay.
not always, obviously.
So she comes back in with her caboodle and she goes, this is the medication I paid for Brianna. It's a narcotic. It's methadone.
Right.
Okay, but then that's it. We cut off. It's like, what?
They
How
left
do we
us on
get
a
there?
cliffhanger.
I know, but also you get in a fight and then you got to get your caboodle.
Well, I guess she's trying to say like, this is what I've been struggling with. This is
Yeah, but since
why
when?
I'm acting like this. I don't know. So maybe we'll find out next episode. I don't know.
Is that
Obviously something is going on.
were
with
you
Roxanne.
injecting the heroin in your upper lip?
You have a real thing with mouths.
I'm a mouth lady.
You're a mouth lady.
I'm very mouth forward.
I can handle lip injections much better than veneers. Bad veneers bother me so much
you didn't
more.
notice Corey's, so
Yeah, I didn't even notice his. Roxanne, I noticed her lips, but she's had these janky lips for a while.
I know. I don't even know. That might just be her God-given lip.
It
might
could be her methadone
government
mouth.
lip. It could be her government lip.
It could be her government lip. You never know.
There's no way to know.
There's no way to know.
Well, I had a really fun journey and I want you guys to have a great journey too. So what I need you to do is go to Teen Mom Trash Talk Podcast Listeners on Facebook and join our group. The password to get in is besties, BESTIES. Answer all of the questions and you can discuss the podcast, the show, anything you really want. And make sure you follow us, Teen Mom Podcast on Twitter, Teen Mom Trash Talk on Instagram, Trash Talk Podcast on TikTok. Everything is right down there in the show notes. Follow Noelle at Noe Girl on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Follow me at Trixie Tuzini on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. TraceyCarnazzo.com for everything podcast related, including my upcoming stand-up comedy tour dates. And leave us a 5-star rating and an amazing review on whatever platform you listen to us on. If you're listening to us on audio and you want to see us on video, make sure you go over to YouTube, Trash Talk Podcast. Everything is right down there in the show notes. And we'll see you next week. Thank you so much for listening.
Bye.
Bye.